It's a beautiful day. It's a beautiful day. It's a beautiful day. It's a beautiful day.
A destination like no other, where pristine waters meet magical landscapes, an adventurer's paradise, an island shaped by history and culture. Well, hello and welcome to Norfolk Island. We've been doing our town for over a decade. In fact, this is our 14th year, and what a way to kick off the new season. During that time, we've been very lucky to visit some fantastic locations, but we've never been offshore before, so this is pretty exciting. Well, let's get this show underway. Time to explore the paradise that is Norfolk Island. Norfolk is located off the Australia coast in the South Pacific, some 1,400 k's in fact, and this picturesque island is made up of 3,500 hectares of pristine natural beauty. It's actually closer to New Zealand, 760 k's away than Australia. Norfolk is only 8 kilometres long and 5 k's wide, and around 2,000 people live here. And this subtropical island is just full of awesome experiences. Norfolk has some fascinating stories to tell around its history, and the way it's been preserved and remembered is beautifully done. The island's heritage continues to play an important role in current day traditions and the everyday lives of the people who live here. This area marks the spot where Captain James Cook first came ashore during his round-the-world voyage in 1774. And word has it, even back then, Captain Cook described Norfolk Island as paradise. This really is a beautiful place. Captain Cook may have been the first European to set foot on Norfolk. However, today the island owes much of its ancestry to one of the greatest adventures of the high seas, the mutiny on the Bounty. Part of the UNESCO World Heritage listed Australian convict sites, Kingston captures the island's early days superbly. The Kingston and Arthurs Vale area is one of Australia's most interesting and important sites. It's a real living reminder of the Polynesian, convict and Pitcairn Islander history. As a living heritage site, it provides a traditional focal point for the Norfolk Island community, and today still contributes to the life, identity and culture of the people who live here. It really is an amazing spot. This area has been beautifully kept, and its Georgian buildings and ruins tell a great story of an important part of world history. Norfolk is also blessed to have a number of museums, each with their own stories to tell, giving you an authentic look at where this island has come from. Marie, this place is pretty impressive.
It's a real wow, isn't it? So what we have here in front of us is what remains from HMS Sirius, flagship of the First Fleet, that wrecks here on Norfolk Island in 1790, remarkably without a single loss of life, but it's one of Australia's most important shipwrecks.
So this is a very important place for Australian history.
Absolutely, and a great place of connection, especially for people descended from those who came with the First Fleet.
Now, we're lucky enough to be here on a weekend. Today's Sunday, and you know what that means? It's Island Markets Day. Whether it's raining or shining, the Art and Craft Market happens every Sunday morning, and if you're after some local produce, this is where you want to be. Yvonne, tell us about the island markets.
Oh, the island markets are fantastic. Everybody likes to come here on a Sunday morning. We have so many stall holders, we have arts and crafts, we have food, we just have it all.
These markets are great for Norfolk.
Yes, absolutely. We started down in Kingston many, many years ago, but this is the place, this is the hub, this is where we need to be. It's fantastic.
The markets are held right next to the Visitor Information Centre, and it's a great spot to savour the island's amazing local food and culture. Plus, you can even grab yourself a souvenir to remind you of your Norfolk Island adventure. Stay with us, we'll be back very soon with more on the magic of Norfolk Island.
It's a beautiful day.
Around 6 k's offshore is Phillip Island, and that's where we're headed today. Nicknamed the Uluru of the South Pacific, it forms part of the Norfolk Island National Park and is home to a number of rare and endangered plants. And the good news is the journey is just as beautiful as the destination. Okay, let's do this. Our way of transport today is with Luke Fitzpatrick, who has been lucky to be able to build a business around his addiction to fishing.
Lived on Norfolk my whole life. When I was 18, I went over to Europe and I've been working on the super yachts. Most people get off the island and go travelling, see if there's anywhere better, and we always end up back here.
Tell me about some of the tours you offer.
So the Round Island cruise goes for about 2.5 hours. And we leave from one of the jetties. We stop in all the pretty places, have a look at all the seabirds through the islands here, and then we go out around Phillip Island. So this area is all formed by, it's volcanic, so nature over the years has caused all the erosion. It's just a pretty little spot with crystal clear waters. Norfolk's so special because it's just so untouched. Our fishing's amazing.
Where's the best spot to fish?
I can't tell you that. A lot of the customers write reviews saying it's catching, not fishing. You know, everyone goes home with dinner for a couple of nights, so we fillet all the fish for them as well. All the tours that all the tour companies run, everyone loves every bit of them, so yeah, it's just easy, it's relaxed, you know. Everyone works together. It's heaven on earth, this place.
This is Phillip Island, renowned for its remarkable beauty, and rightly so. It looks spectacular from here. In the late 1700s, early 1800s, Phillip Island was overrun with the likes of pigs, goats and rabbits, back when Norfolk's penal settlements were in full swing. Today, it is a haven for thousands of migrating seabirds. And if you're game, apparently there's some pretty awesome hiking treks for the keen adventurers. Phillip Island's rugged landscape and natural contours are also home to some rare and endangered vegetation protected by the management of Parks Australia. And getting onto the island is an adventure in itself. Phillip Island is rodent-free, and as you can imagine, bird and naturalist enthusiasts love this place. And as this protected island goes through the process of regeneration, its rehabilitation from its early days when animals roamed here is a credit to Parks Australia and the community, who have worked tirelessly to recover from what was once a degraded environment that had become all but a wasteland. Today, this remarkable piece of nature is a must-see attraction when visiting Norfolk Island. One big day of exploring, time to rest up and get ready for more Norfolk adventures tomorrow.
It's a beautiful day.
If you've been to Norfolk before, you would have no doubt experienced the fabulous hospitality that the locals are well known for. I've only been here a couple of days and can certainly vouch for that. It's the island's culture and how it's shared with visitors that people talk about when they come here. And of course, the magnificent local food. So, we're going to showcase the best of Norfolk from a cultural and flavours point of view. Kurt, tell us about the homestead.
Yeah, so the Homestead restaurant, it's been in our family for about 40 years now. My dad was a Norfolk Islander and my grandma was a Norfolk Islander. And currently my wife and I, Jill, and our family, we started it in 2019, so we've had it going for about 4 years now. We touch everything that goes on the plate or that's sent out of the kitchen, all the way back to making the charcoal for the grill, growing the vegetables, and then we prep everything through the day. So every dish that's put up on the passes, we've touched it probably 50 times, you know? So there's a lot of care and love goes into everything we do, and I think that comes through on the plate and for the dining experience when people come in. I'm standing in my veggie garden right near the restaurant. I can see most of my suppliers within like a couple of kilometres, literally.
Kurt, tell us about this.
Yeah, so this is a parrilla grill. It's an Argentine style grill, and it was actually made by my dad. He made it down in the shed here on the property. It's made out of recycled materials.
And what do you use it for?
I use this to cook my meats, fish. Every sort of dish on the menu gets touched on the grill, so I'll put vegetables and stuff on there as well. Octopus, all sorts of stuff goes on there. You're getting that slow smoke sort of flavour, and it comes through in the food because it's just getting cooked with direct charcoal underneath, so you're getting all those organic volatile compounds going straight into your food.
What about the locals and they would have seen you as a young fella and now you're running the homestead?
Yeah, I think that's really nice. I think people like that. When I was a young kid, I'd be running around the kitchen just like my daughter is. And to see us out here now running the restaurant, I think people, they like that. They like to support it, and they can see the cycle of things. It's really nice.
Hey Dids, how do you say spectacular in Norfolk?
Can't beat it.
That means?
Can't beat it.
You can't beat this, absolutely.
So Miranda, this is a beautiful hat made from corn husks. It's woven into strips and then sewn together. The lady that made this wonderful thing, if she were alive today, she would be 150 years old.
So Dids, I understand the Norfolk language is a melding of British and Tahitian?
Actually, it's Old English and Tahitian.
Ah.
And yes, it's a very unique language, Amanda.
Can you teach me how to say, how are you?
What are you this dear?
What were you
This dear.
des dear? And how would I say, I'm good?
I do.
I good.
That's it.
Okay, shoes are off. Time to get my culture on. Michaela, tell us about the dancing you teach here.
Yes, this is actually our traditional Norfolk Island dance. This is a really special part of our culture. It actually comes from our Polynesian side, and it was passed down from our foremothers. We're just going to push our hips from side to side, keeping the top half of our body still.
Ooh.
Now, what we do with this movement, it's called tamo, but we're going to do the movement called tamo te ere, which is actually our slower tamo. So we lift our hips up and over. Now we're going to add in our arms. So right arm is coming up and doing a small circle. Hey, mais, both hands up, fingers closed, tin turla. Step back on your right foot and follow your left hand through from your heart. Watawe, mais darling.
You're the one in my heart, my darling. I love you.
Well, the shoes are back on, my dancing is done, and it's time for dinner, which means more delicious local cuisine. It's a tough gig. The original island fish fry has been treating visitors and locals for over 40 years, with the event serving up some incredible island dishes, followed by the Bounty Beauties dancing group. Unfortunately, I didn't make the cut, which does not surprise me. These girls are so good. Another beautiful sun sets, a great way to end an awesome island day.
It's a beautiful day.
It goes without saying that Norfolk Island is a beautiful place to visit and live. However, in saying that, the island needs to move forward with the future in mind, and to ensure a sustainable environment for future generations, an environmental strategy has been developed for the local community, and it's already making a difference.
The Norfolk Wave came about as a result of a community campaign on the island. For a long period of time, their residents would take their rubbish to a place called Headstone, where it was burnt on the side of a cliff and then dumped into the ocean. And there was growing community concern on the island about that. Here at the Norfolk Wave Recycling Centre, we focus on resource recovery. A lot of the technologies that exist here have existed independently of one another for a long time, but this is the first place in the world that it's all been brought together. In our first month of operations, we were able to reduce by 72% the amount of rubbish that we were sending as a community over to landfill on the mainland, so we feel really excited about that. The Norfolk Wave Recycling Centre has really instilled such a sense of pride and responsibility in our community, and if we can successfully recycle up to 90% of what is generated here on this island, which is what we're aiming for, then that can happen anywhere in the world.
Norfolk's home to a whole range of native and endemic species, both flora and fauna. Here in 100 Acre Reserve, we have a volunteer weeding group that has been focusing on weeding and rehabilitation in the reserve for about 3 years now. And we meet every week for about 3.5 hours to carry out weeding of a particular invasive understory plant called coralberry. And we've seen incredible change over the last 3 years. The Coralberry Crusaders kicked off when one of our head volunteer, actually, Jude Anderson, she started coming into the reserve and doing a little bit of guerrilla weeding. She'd seen that this place needed a lot of love. There have been various initiatives in the past where we've tried to weed out the coralberry, but it hasn't lasted for very long. And so Jude, in conjunction with the Norfolk Island Regional Council and the Flora and Fauna Society, we started this weekly volunteer program. We have a core team of about 8 to 10 volunteers. We rely on them every week. They show up rain, hail or shine. This program is crucial to Norfolk. It's our responsibility to maintain this place, but also for all of the residents and Norfolk Islanders that actually walk through here every day, the changes and the improvements that they're seeing in the health of the forest. I think it reminds everyone that together we can make big change, and that given a little bit of love and care, the forest, like she regenerates. We just need to put that extra effort in and make it happen.
Norfolk for many years has had to rely on diesel power to power the island. However, about a year ago, that all changed for the better, with a staged transition to renewable energy, helping to provide cleaner, more cost-effective electricity to the island community. There are approximately 1,500 homes and businesses on Norfolk Island which are connected to the island's electricity grid by a diesel-fired power station supported by a central battery. Because of the reliance on diesel generation and the fact that getting fuel to Norfolk is very expensive, electricity prices are high here. In fact, they are 2 to 3 times the rate of mainland Australia. So yes, to power Norfolk is an expensive exercise all round. Over the past 12 months, Council has been working with Insight Energy with the aim to implement the transition to renewable energy, reducing the island's dependency on fossil fuel and lower electricity costs for residents.
So how it works on Norfolk Island is that the people here are paying 80 cents a kilowatt hour for energy. To put that in comparison with Australian prices, you're looking at about 25 cents. So you can see that price differentiation is just too much. So we had to think about how we get cheaper, greener electricity, and to do that we use the sun and we use battery storage. So that's what we did first of all, was roll out solar and batteries across the community at strategic locations that benefit everyone. Now, in order for residents to get that access to cheaper prices, we needed to implement smart meters, and so that's what we've done as well.
So basically, the idea is that residents and local business operators have access to cheap electricity when the sun is up, which will encourage people to use electricity at this time, storing the cheaper electricity into batteries. Ultimately, the end result will allow the island to not have to rely on diesel generators to be turned on at all in the future.
It's incredibly important for the people of Norfolk Island because over the next few years we're going to see some serious supply chain challenges for energy sources globally. So maintaining Norfolk Island's independence from those challenges is key to the sustainability of Norfolk Island. Part of that is the rollout of electric vehicles on the island, and that's already happening. And we've already seen the diesel generators been turned off for 7 hours the other day, which is an amazing outcome for the community because everyone deserves cheaper, greener power.
Well, what more can I say about Norfolk Island? We've had an amazing few days here, exploring, eating. The food here is just so good. And getting amongst the awesome local community. The people here are just so friendly and accommodating. Now you need to make plans to visit Norfolk Island. This is my first time here and I've been absolutely blown away. There aren't enough words to describe just how beautiful this place is. So while you're busy thinking about visiting Norfolk Island, unfortunately, we need to sign off. Thanks so much for coming along on the ride. We hope you've enjoyed it as much as we have. Until next time, take care. Bye for now.
It's a beautiful day.